Is tax going away on overtime pay? Well, that's anybody's guess at this point because there are two bills on the table that could potentially reduce or eliminate the tax that employees pay on overtime. Right now, the Overtime Wages Tax Relief Act is set to be voted on. And if this bill passed, this would allow employees to deduct up to 20% of their overtime pay as an income deduction. So if an employee made $10,000 in overtime pay, they could potentially deduct up to $2,000. And this amount would be capped at $10,000 per single filer and $20,000 per married filing jointly. So it would not eliminate the tax that employees pay throughout the year, but rather would give them an extra deduction when they file their taxes. And this is not an off-the-top deduction. So when we're talking about if they made $10,000 in overtime pay, they could deduct $2,000. That is not a $2,000 credit going back in their pocket, but rather if their taxable income was $50,000 and this bill passed and they had the $10,000 and they claimed the $2,000, then their taxable income would go down to $48,000. But the other bill that's on the table that should be voted on in July and could potentially be rolled out as early as October of this year is Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. And this bill would actually eliminate the tax on overtime pay. Now, this would be, of course, more money on employees' paychecks throughout the year, but that is a very narrow timeline if you're thinking logistically as a business owner or payroll service provider on how we're going to get that into the system and make sure that the calculations are correct. So if Trump's bill passes to where those wages are excluded, we'll likely need to roll out some additional pay codes that are exempt from certain tax types for overtime pay. But again, both of these bills are still TBD, have not been voted through, so they may not pass, one or both or neither. Nobody knows yet. But of course, we'll be here to keep you updated and also answer any questions that you have as they come up. So feel free to reach out. You can find us online at valorpayrollsolutions.com, or you can always drop a comment below and we'd be happy to get back to you.